biding their time, but now they get given the green flag to head out of the pre-grid. So your grid is as follows. For race 4 of the meeting, Junior Rotax Heats 2, Group C and D. Daniel Ginchard and Aaron Walker making it an all-British front row. Petra Babikova and Arvid Rosen from the Czech Republic and Sweden respectively, that's row 2. Tomas Stolsamanis from Latvia and Theo Eriksson round out the top 6 position on the grid itself. So the 285, Theo Eriksson is from Norway. We've got Fahin Mega and Aguilera. Then we've got Daniel Armstrong and Kai Rielitz rounding out the top 10. Valentin Klus and Austin Lee rounding out the top 12. We've also got Edgars Vilkans and Nick Gerhards in this one. So the twin brother of Tim is in this race. Callum Voisin and Andrew Douglas make it an all-British row 8 ahead of Janis Stiak and Drek Janssen from Germany and the Netherlands respectively. We then also have Alexander Kroll running under the Spanish flag with Miamareta Pankratov from Estonia rounding out the top 20. Joao Denis and Alexander Mikos from Poland. Daniel Schnell, Daniel Hunt and also Luca Collins-Schultz. Looks like Christian Borgard might be a non-shower on that, but they might have changed things. Well, it's got that Borgard's showing in pole position, but that's quite not clearly the case, as Daniel Ginchard is just ahead of Aaron Walker. Another one of the Strawberry Racing contingent here this very weekend. So now through turn 13, they're going to start controlling pace and slowing the field to a crawl. 1,580 metres here at Circuito Karting Campillos. So they head down into turn number 16. Race 4 of the meeting. 22 races in Andalusia today. Ginchard on pole. Walker alongside as they come very slowly at a crawl through turn 17. 7 minutes on the clock plus an additional lap. Ginchard on the left-hand side of your screen is on pole. Aaron Walker alongside. We go lights out this time as Ginchard goes towards Walker, bumps sidewalls going into turn 1 for the first time as they head up the hill. Ginchard down into second already. Looks like Walker might have already taken the lead of the race. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. There is an absolute train coming through into turns 6, 7 and 8 as it's nearly 3 abreast going up towards the crest of the hill. Absolutely crazy down there at the moment. So Walker leads, Ginchard in second position as there's a move up the inside for P4. And that was the 285 of Eriksson there. And went up the inside of Arvid Rosen. So Rosen now down into P5, could come under threat very quickly by Aguilera. Other drivers that have trying to make their way up the order. Kai Rielitz still with this slight rib injury. Looks to have dropped a little bit further out of the top 10 as they come across the start-finish line. 5 minutes and 50 plus an additional lap. Walker leads from Ginchard by just over 2 3/4 tenths. Babikova in third place. Eriksson, Rosen. Kai Rielitz is doing an absolutely brilliant job and he's fending off. I think he's just got past Rosen for 5th place. Kai Rielitz is actually battling away with Rosen from Sweden going down the hill towards turn number 9 as there's a great skirmish down towards the bottom part of the top 10. I think maybe Austin Lee is in that. Or is he just ahead? I'm not too sure. Just going to wait for them as Kai Rielitz going ultra defensive heading into turn 12 on Stolsamanis. As looks like there's some great moves and it's 3 abreast. Austin Lee being hit from behind heading into turn 13. So let's have a look at a quick replay here on the live stream. So we're just going to... Now this is coming through down the hill in towards the bottom part of it, and you can just see how committed they are. Oh, someone's clattered into the barriers and thrown it onto the circuit. And that was earlier on in the race. So whoever that was frightening, because that went straight into the racing line, and that was actually coming down a hill, so that might have been towards the top part of the circuit. So luckily enough, they all, and that was, and then I'm speechless, really, and that's difficult to say as a commentator when you see something like that, and then it's down the hill, actually coming through into turn 11. So Ginchard now just pulling closer and closer to Aaron Walker from Strawberry Racing. So it's Strawberry Racing leading ahead of KR Sports. And we've got Eliska Babikova, also a Strawberry Racing driver. Then we've got Theo Eriksson from Norway, rounding out the top 4. Farin Mega's got past Kai Helitz, who's actually dropped out of the top 5 now, down into 9th position. Is the young Belgian from JJ Racing. I think it was a nice move up the inside, probably towards the back part of the top 10, going through the final corner. But up the hill they go yet again for another lap. We've got about 3 minutes and 30 seconds plus an additional lap still to go. And it is still just over 2 tenths, but it might not be the case as the leaders go down the hill, as do now the rest of the top 9 competitors. Some good midfield action down the bottom of the order, which includes the likes of Nick Gerhards, Valentin Klus, who are battling away over around about 15th position. The number 246 of Andrew Douglas is also firmly in the mix. He's running in 14th position, ahead of behind Austin Lee. And then Janssen in the 231, Derek Janssen, who started in 18th position, is now up into 12th place as the 2 leaders starting to pull away now. Liska Babikova a little bit on the back foot. She's 9 tenths behind Aaron Walker. Sorry, Petra Babikova is 9 tenths adrift. Theo Eriksson, Arvid Rosen rounds out the top 6. Callum Voisin isn't having a great race at the moment. Started P15, he's now down into P24. So still plenty of opportunity for him to get further up the order. But time is fast running out in this race. 2 minutes and 8 seconds still to go. So this has been a very exciting... Well, it started to sort of tail off a little bit, but there are still some great battles. I think I've just seen... coming down is Aguilera, who's hot on the heels of Farin Mega from Germany. He's running with Kachmi.de on the Mach 1 chassis. And they are battling away over 7th position. But the top 3, very close together. Babikova looks to have made a little bit of a move forward towards the back of Daniel Ginchard, who's kept in close proximity with Aaron Walker. Gap now extends to over 2.5 tenths of a second. Just under 90 seconds to go on this particular race as the junior Rotax drivers scream their way across the start-finish line, with Luca Collins-Schultz in the 244 down in 25th position, but all drivers still circulating here at Wintercup Campillos. But at the bottom of the hill, Ginchard really trying to size up Aaron Walker for a move through the right-hand sweeper at turn 10. They come through turn 11. Now into turn 12. Ginchard is about half a kart length or nigh on a kart length, as Farin Mega's gone ultra defensive on Aguilera on the 209, and that's still the battle for 7th position. The 235 of Callum Voisin makes up a position there, and that is past the 212 of Schnell in that particular occasion, down in David Schnell, actually, from Germany. So we now head on to the penultimate lap. And Eriksson and Rosen are about 1/10 of a second adrift. Farin Mega is a further 9 tenths behind this, as looks like the lead has changed. Daniel Ginchard has got the lead back, but Aaron Walker is swarming over his fellow countrymen like a pack of angry bees, and he's gone up the inside of him, actually through turn 8 as they hit the crest of the hill. So Ginchard now has to just really be very smart and tactical. And he's had a black and white warning flag from the officials, but they come down towards turn 12 for what's the penultimate time. Walker goes ultra defensive. This is allowing Petra Babikova this time, rather than Eliska, who won the last heat this morning. As they go down the back straightaway, Ginchard was looking to put his nose up the inside. He goes for the switchback through turn 16. Walker puts on the defensive masterclass at the moment, as we've had a spinner off into the backward into the barriers at turn 12. And that looks to be the 2:44 of Luca Collins-Schultz. They go on to the final lap, as it is a top 3 scrap, and Babikova now in the mix. Ginchard in the middle of it all, Walker up at the front, and just behind them is Tomas Stoltzomanis. So Stoltzomanis has really closed up, and the fastest lap of the race so far is from Daniel Ginchard, who's put in a 1 minute 5.223 on lap 4. We're now onto the final lap of the race, and they're coming down the hill through turn 10 into turn 11, now down the straightaway towards turn 12. And it's going to be very interesting to see what might happen over the last few corners. But I think with the fact that Ginchard took the initial advantage, got past Aaron Walker, but Walker now is going to make this a very, very interesting dynamic, because I think this is going to make this the first ever time I've said this. Coming around the final corner from Strawberry Racing, it's Aaron Walker who takes the win. Takes the win ahead of Daniel Ginchard. Petra Babikova takes 3rd place ahead of Tomas Stoltzomanis, and the top 3 separated by just over half a second. So that was very, very interesting indeed, how Strawberry Racing in the first 4 races out of 22 today have taken a victory here at Circuito Internacional de Karting Campillos. So we had Tomas Stoltzomanis, Marco Aguilera rounding out the top 5. Farin Mega finishing ahead of Daniel Armstrong, who showed a great sort of work there to finish 7th on his debut in the Euro Trophy side of things. Arvid Rosen, Theo Eriksson and Kai Rielertz round out the top 10. Drake Janssen, Austin Lee on his Euro Trophy debut as a junior. 12th place, Nick Gerhard's 13th, ahead of Valentin Klus and Edgars Vilkans from Latvia. Andrew Douglas from Coles Racing. Mia Mareta Pankratov in 17th, ahead of Janis Stiak from Craft Motorsport. We then had Alexander Mikos from Poland, Alexander Kroll from Spain, Callum Voisin recovered, having dropped down towards the back part of the field to 21st, having started 15th. Joao Diniz in 22nd, Daniel Hunt in 28th, David Schnell in 24th, with a very dramatic penultimate lap for Luca Collins-Schultz, who went off at turn 12 and put it backwards nearly into the wire fencing there as he makes his way into the pits.